people deluded. It's been a while since I've done a video of this nature, but I've just got some thoughts in regards to Barcelona's midfield. In particular, Ivan Rakitic, he'll be the centre of this video. So yeah, man, I'm just going to spill what's on my brain, essentially. And if you want to listen, you want to listen. If not, click off. But Barcelona now, historically and probably present day, it's hard not to admire their midfield talents or the midfielders or players that have been attributed to Barcelona. Now, I rate Valverde as a coach. I don't necessarily believe he's the best man for the job, but he's doing a great job. He won the league last year, forgive me if I'm wrong. They're still in the champs, but I just don't feel, if I was a Barcelona fan or a player, he wouldn't necessarily feel me as the best thriving attacking coach or the player to get the best, the manager to get the best out of the side. But although I watch Barcelona quite often, I'm not familiar with all the matters and stuff. So away from that, you look at their midfield talent and you think, will Ivan Rakitic be moved on? And I say this because obviously they've got Busquets who's getting on a bit. They've signed De Jong from Ajax now. I want him to play straight away, but Ajax and Barcelona, no disrespect, is a different sort of level. So is he necessarily going to start straight away? I'm not too sure. In regards to how they use him, I'm not too sure, because I would have thought Busquets at the base of it, then you could play a pivot or whatever and play De Jong in that. And I think De Jong will be utilised in that way, but by the same token, he could actually be used in Busquets' role. And from what I've read, there's a lot of talk how Barca want to groom him into that role gradually. So what? There's obviously, I've obviously just said there's De Jong, there's Busquets. You lot know I love Arthur. I can't even say I'm English, so I have to pronounce it as Arthur. Been talking about him since he was in his homeland. The man's a baller with world-class potential. That's 3 ballers. There's talk of bringing in Rabiot on a free transfer. That's 4 ballers. And then you've got existing talents. Obviously, he's probably a squad player, but you've got Vidal. You've got, obviously, they're not all necessarily central midfielders, but you've got Elanya, the youngster. You've got Ricky, the young G. Sergio Roberto's predominantly a right back nowadays, but he can be used in that role. And I'm probably missing out some other examples. We're probably in the youth team and other areas, but surely Rakitic is the odd one out. Now, I know he signed a new deal. There was talk of him leaving to go to PSG before he signed whenever is his latest deal. He's 30 years of age. For Barcelona, it's a good, or Barcelona fans or the management, it's a good amount of options to have. It's a good conundrum to have. Think about it, people. If you had to pick between Rakitic, who's a very good midfielder, Arthur, Busquets, and all these other examples, you have a headache picking your best game in Champions League matches, best team in Champions League, best team just about. It's good for the squad, but from players, you can see how discontent happens. Now, clearly Arthur was signed for the future. De Jong was signed for the future. Just look at their ages and De Jong's price tag in particular. They were signed for the future with that in mind. If they bring in Rabiot again, he's not exactly old himself. What is he, 23? So that's 3 midfielders. Now, Rakitic doesn't necessarily have to be forced out. I do think there's a lot of competition and there's only so many games, but I do think everybody could be given a game. But realistically, by the same token, it'd be a difficult task for a manager to keep all of them happy realistically, because most of them, you're forgetting they're footballers. They want to start every week. You've got to answer the fans. The fans question why a player isn't starting on every week, match week, the press, and you've also got to tell the players, like, it can't be easy at any professional club, much more so Barcelona. Don't get twisted, these lot of professional footballers and some of the most highly professional footballers in terms of professionalism, but at the end of the day, they're still players and humans, and they want to play. So it might be difficult saying, I don't know, if Rabiot joins, why you're not starting this game. De Jong, why you're starting this game, but you won't start the next game. Why you haven't played for 3 games. Why you've started every game, and why you're not going to start the next 5. These sort of things. I wouldn't go as far to say discontent, but you know, realistically, people, how feasible is it? So could Rakitic be the odd one out? He's been linked with PSG. He's actually been linked with Chelsea, which his agent has dismisses the talk. I'm not too sure of his fee. He's 30 years of age. You'd like to think Barcelona, he's been a great servant. I think he was sick for me at Seville. Barcelona, I did have question marks as to how he would jump into that level, because I did still think I think he's changed his game slightly since he's gone to Barcelona. He's a bit more reserved, a bit more, I wouldn't say of an all-rounder, because he's always had ability, but a bit more of an all-rounder versus a bit more attacking-wise sort of thing at Seville, for me anyways. He's remastered his game. He's been a loyal servant. He's been important for them. He's been a very good player. I think he's one of the most underrated midfielders in the world in terms of these elite bracket of midfielders, purely for what he does. But he's 30. They've spent a lot of money. He's at an age where you've got to think, is he going to realistically be in my plans? If not, 30 years of age. You can get, considering he's been linked with PSG and them things there, can get a decent fee for him. I wouldn't go as far as to say he's declining, because I think it's dangerous to assume someone that's in their 30s is declining, but he hasn't exactly got many years ahead of him, so they could deem that wise to let him go and thingy give that place to, I don't know, a young player in the squad and let their other young players deal with it. Personally, I think they should keep him because he's at least for the season, at least for one more season, because I think you can't underestimate his experiences with Busquets as well. It's all fine and dandy having Arthur, De Jong and things like that, and if Rabiot joins the club, that'll be fantastic, and 9 times out of 10 they'll win all games. But there's injuries. Also feel you can't underestimate Rakitic's experience, both just as due to his age and just because he's been at Barcelona coping with the pressure and things like that. So I don't feel they should sell him, but no doubt that surely the rumours of Rakitic leaving Barcelona are either going to intensify or remain consistent. And by the same token, if you're a couple of these clubs that can afford him, like let's just say, I don't know, Man United, Chelsea, PSG, just to humour you guys, you can paint a picture and say and see why possibly these clubs should go for them. Now, I can't lie, if I was Man City United, I'd be trying to go for Ndombele before Rakitic, but that's just what I feel, man. I just feel surely some clubs are eyeing it up. Maybe he's eyeing up departing. I don't think he is, but maybe he's thinking about how do I feature into the club's plans, because they've signed a young midfielder from Brazil, another one for big money from Holland. He's obviously going to play due to the price tag. He's not coming to sit on the bench. There's talk of Rabiot and other central midfielders. So how do I fit into the plans? I don't know, but yeah, man, that's just what I've been thinking. And I thought, let me just spill my thoughts as I have done already for the last 6-7 minutes. But on that note, I'm going to get out of your lot's hair, people. So people, deluded, stay safe and them things there. I'm out.